So, I am making this video for anybody who is afraid of negative judgment concerning their art or themselves, or maybe you have experienced this kind of judgment. And I would like to tell you a little bit about my own experience. When I was in my first year in media art school in Cologne, I was like 20 years old back then and was right after high school. I went to this seminar of a very well-renowned, very famous photographer who is notorious for his harsh judgments. And all the students, especially the younger ones, well, maybe not all the students, but the younger ones were pretty afraid of him, and he had this reputation, and but also everybody said you have to go to this seminar because it's really cool and you just have to. So I went there, and it was a pretty tiny class, not a lot of students, maybe 10, and there was this girl or young woman. I liked her very much. She was a very multi-talented person, or still is, and she had created a photography series. It was something that was totally out of her comfort zone, something that she had never done before, and she admitted that. And she presented it in front of the class and in front of the professor. And so I sat there, and she started talking about it and about her ideas and her inspiration. Yeah, and then, the students started asking questions, the professor started asking questions, commenting, and then it got really, really weird. Because suddenly it started to feel like a trial, and it felt like she had to defend her artwork, and it also felt as if those students and the professor were like interrogating her, had like already made up their mind, as if they had already placed a judgment upon her art, which was that it's bad, basically. So, and the whole thing ended with her crying, and I think while she was crying, the professor said the following sentence, and I will never forget the sentence: "Your artwork has no right to exist in the art world." Period. So, I will never forget this seminar. I went back one more time because I had made an appointment myself. I thought I was like obligated to do that. I was obligated to show my art and to have it judged, And I went there, and I showed it to him. I think it was like kind of like video installation stuff, and well, he didn't say that it had no right to exist in the art world, but I think he said, he called it something like pussy art or too emotional or something like that. And today I would certainly take that as a compliment, but back then it was pretty hurtful to be put in like kind of a box by this powerful person, this authority. And if I could travel back in time, I would really like to tell this professor, who was actually a pretty decent and nice person privately, would really like to tell him my opinion, but I will use this video to do it. So, and maybe this can also give you a feeling that you're not alone. That would be the best thing. So, I was young and pretty impressionable back then, but in my gut, I still felt that there was something seriously wrong with the way the seminar went down. And I actually, all the time I wanted to say something, but I, didn't have the courage because I didn't feel entitled. I felt too young and too unexperienced. And today I know it was the actual definition of toxicity. And something cool about getting older, and I could be my own mother right now. I'm 41 now. Something really cool about getting older is that you become more firm in your own values. And for me, it really came with life experience. And I'm very, very lucky because I've been working for over 10 years now in an inclusive arts project with mixed-able to neurodivergent artists, and where we deliberately question norms and power structures in society. Yes, there are certain standards in the mainstream art world, and that's also not bad per se, but there is always a fine line between high standards and dogma. And the question should be, should we adapt dogmatic standards and limitations? Is this a system of values that we really want to own? And speaking for myself, I don't think so. And I can tell you one thing: no one gets to decide your worth or the worth of what you create except you. It's you. You have the power, you know? It's in our nature to create, to express ourselves, to, give rise to form, to connect with the world. And it's our given right to do that. And it's also in our nature to create safety. And that's just the way we're wired neurologically. And wanting to be part of a tribe, to feel safe and accepted. And because of that, we might adapt an imaginary scale of measurement, of value measurement, that isn't really our own. And this happens especially when our self-worth has been hurt early on in our lives, and when we didn't grow up in safety, meaning when we didn't grow up with a sense of being enough and valuable, the way we are. And by the way, this can also happen if we had loving parents who held those beliefs about themselves, because as children, we develop our self-image by mirroring and by introjecting. I believe that highly judgmental people have a deeply hurt self-worth, and they need to project judgments upon others in order to feel safe. And that way they can decide what has a right to exist within a certain realm and what not. And it's tricky if those people have lots of power. But you know what? We have the choice, and we have a choice to be less judgmental. We can say, so what? I have my own values that nobody can take away from me. And these values say that there is nothing bad that can be created unless it is meant to hurt somebody. And these values also say that, everyone has the right to express themselves as long as others aren't hurt in their integrity. Your own values are like a muscle, and you can strengthen them by empowering yourself again and again and again, by taking up space in this world. Each time that you think that you've created something bad, something that doesn't live up to your standards, ask yourself, are these really my standards? Are they my own values? And where do they actually come from? And sometimes we might create something, and we can feel in our gut that it's not our most powerful work. Yes, but that doesn't make it less valuable. And because it's part of our journey, part of our creative process, each time we allow ourselves to create something bad or something that doesn't meet those high adapted standards, you are actually getting stronger, because you are empowering yourself with your own values, and you are showing yourself unconditional love, by the way. Also, if you allow yourself to create with a free spirit, your work will be inevitably unique. You don't have to do anything. Even if it might seem inconspicuous to others, doesn't matter. Not everything has to be groundbreaking. And as for me personally, I really enjoy artists that, embrace their flaws and allow themselves to experiment and to fail, whatever that means. It is simply inspiring, and it also encourages others to do the same. I always have to think about Bob Dylan and all his albums, where he just experimented with styles and made his fans angry because he wasn't meeting their expectations. But it's his life. And I think there is a reason why he's 80-something now and still touring. I hope he still does. Hope he'll come to Germany soon. Creating should be enjoyable. It should be empowering, which I think was lacking in this seminar pretty much, joy and empowerment. Yeah, so that's it for now. I hope this video could inspire you in some way, maybe, give you the feeling that you're not alone. And if you want to stay in touch, consider subscribing, and I'm sending you lots of hugs wherever you are, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Bye bye and take care.